We are live. Welcome to this video. Thank you very much for joining me. Just want to talk about something that I saw a little while ago. I had no idea what they were talking about, and it all suddenly came to me in a dream. It was a dream. It all suddenly came to me, and all the pieces started to get put together. And I want to preempt this by saying that I've had a very traumatic life. Very traumatic life. My father was disabled when I was 10. My mother became sick because she was looking after so many boys. She died when I was 11. I was sent off to boarding school. There was paedophiles there, all sorts of stuff going on, and I was screaming out to my father and my brothers that this is a horrendous hell, and they weren't listening to me, thinking I was being over emotional. And I eventually got easier when I went to the bigger school. That was like a prep school to the bigger school. And then my father died when I was 19. I was found a job. Then I went into sales because I was apparently had a good education. Hated it because there's loads of sharks there. And found music, and that was very soothing for me for a little while. But it was that whole traumatic period of looking at this world and going, this is all crazy to me. It's all crazy to me. And everyone was saying, no, you're the crazy one. I don't think so. I don't think so at all, because you look at it today, now, what we're living through today, which if you look at the Vedas, they call it the Kali Yuga. But if you look at the Mayan calendar and it overlays the Kali Yuga, what the Mayans were talking about, we have a ninth wave of consciousness coming onto the planet, which actually is to do with your mind and what your mind or your antenna, your brain, can actually pick up on, which is why we have all these creases in the brain, is to actually receive more information, because that's all the brain is. It's a receiver and transmitter of information. That's all it is. And if it's all blocked and muddy and foggy, you don't get this information. And what does a stressful world, which is confusing and doesn't have proper information telling you what's going on, what happens then? It all becomes blocked, foggy and confusing. That's what happens. It's really becoming so obvious to me now. It's clear, crystal clear. And that's what this video is all about, is what soul retrieval is all about. So with my Qigong practice, which you can join me, it's really simple. You just go to the Bright Beings Academy and just join the Qigong classes. I'd love to see you there. But I deal with the energy body as well as the physical body. So quantum science now is telling us that energy creates matter. And I'll keep saying it, this isn't solid. If you try and drive a car through a hurricane, you can't do it because it seems like it's solid. But all it is swirling air, but becomes solid because of the strength of the swirl. And that's what this is, the strength of the swirl. The harder the swirl, the less likely you are to be able to get through, say, this wooden top here. But I've seen yogis who've been able to push pencils through that wooden top because they realize the nature of this reality and how they can manipulate it with their energy. And that's fascinating in itself. But what is soul retrieval? And I've now realized that all of this is part of your energy body, the inner workings of your energy body. And they talk about the chakra systems. In my Qigong practice, we call it the danjons, the energy centers of the body. We also have meridians and acupressure points. And now more and more people are actually turning to this alternative way of healing and finding remarkable results. No surprise there to me. But many other people are completely surprised to what this can actually do to you when you take a holistic approach to your body, rather than this allopathic way that we treat it now in Western medicine. The Western mind has become so busy and so cluttered with so much rubbish. It is not being able to actually channel into any higher energy. All the spirituality has been messed up. All the politics has been messed up. All the banking system has been messed up. The corporate powers is thinking they've got a triangle like this when actually it's like this. When you look at them up there, they're in prison, right? They are really in prison. They're not controlling you. They're trying to, but they're not going to get away with it. And they put themselves into this prison where they have to keep going and keep going and keep going because they can't back off. Because as soon as they back off, they probably end up in prison because people have the time to see what they're actually doing up there. So this is a problem that we have of this pressure coming down, and this pressure is creating diamonds, which is great. I said that before in my last video. But soul retrieval, when we have a traumatic experience in the body, our energy system leaves the body, which is why we become numb. We become acquiescent. Oh, I can't take this anymore. Can't do. So part of us leaves the body, and that part is arguably what we call the soul, or your inner core energy, or your life force, right in here in your heart area. It leaves, and when the trauma's over, it will come back. But if your body has been so jammed up with horrendous energy, which trauma does that for you, puts horrendous energy into your body, it can't all come back. So you may feel a little bit different after a harsh event. I certainly felt different after my mother died. My father was disabled. I certainly felt different after my father died. I was in so much grief that they actually did come back in a spiritual manner. They came back as an essence and energy into my room and said, "Let me go, Peter. This is not doing any of us any good." And I did, and I felt so much better after that. It was quite incredible. So I was holding on to that really harsh, traumatic experience, and then as soon as I forgave and let go and just thought, okay, forgive myself. It's not my fault that this has happened. It's not their fault that this has happened. This has just happened. This is the way it is, and I detached from it. That doesn't mean I didn't care. I don't care, or I'm not caring about it, but detached from it. That's when I started to retrieve parts of my energy, parts of my soul, parts of who I really am, which was that little boy. Before all of this happened, that little boy, such an open mind, so open, so seeing everything, analyzing everything, really highly sensitive human being, going, oh my goodness me, what is this mess in front of me? And then all this garbage started to happen, bang, 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 knocking me about I was like in the ring with Muhammad Ali without any boxing training, or Bruce Lee even, chopping me about, banging me around. So this had left me. This has left me. Now I feel, because of this ninth wave coming in from the Mayan calendar and this change in the Kali Yuga that we're seeing moving into a golden age, seeing things so much more clearly. And I want that for other people now. I want them to realize that it's the physical body and the energy body, is the interlinking of that. That's the first beginnings of your spiritual step. We're all looking for the higher stuff, the causal realms and the dualistic realms and the astral realms. We're all looking at that. What about down here? We're forgetting about down here. We're forgetting about the physical body and the energy body, and we're forgetting about letting it all go, forgiving, just looking at what's going on and going, you poor things. Like everyone is going about the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, the World Economic Forum, and screaming and shouting about that. Do you realize what a horrendous position that they are in, that they put themselves in? And we should be forgiving them, but make sure that energy never ever comes back onto the planet again, because it's here, right now, in this moment. And if we're still not allowing our soul to be retrieved fully back into our conscious being as a human being, we're going to be denying ourselves of the wonders that we can see as a human being, and the wonders that we can experience. We can experience past this. This reality is not what we see it to be. We see this physical world, and because we're so stressed and anxious and worried about where's the next meal coming from, or where's the next load of money coming from, or where's this and where's that, blah 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 blah. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's stressed. You know, when's the next virus coming? When's the next world war coming? When's the next economic collapse coming? Scare, fear. Simpsons, isn't it? Fear. It's showing you it's all fear. Turn it off and see what happens for a week, at least a week, maybe 2 weeks. Focus on yourself. Start breathing deeply. Join the Bright Beings Academy and get on with the Qigong that I teach. It's really great stuff. Do something to turn it off, to come back inside of yourselves, to retrieve that energy. It's there now. It's open for you completely. If you decide to go, if you don't decide to go, but that's fine as well. Just try and live a better life each day. Try and wake up and live a better life. But it's there. It's there because I know, because I'm actually experiencing it myself. And I want that for other people. I'm seeing more and more people standing up saying, it's there. It's here. We've got it already. So we need to really start to tap into that more. And soul retrieval is really about you coming back into being a human being, not a human doing or a reactionary being, which is what stress and anxiety does, going into the sympathetic nervous state. It's about us running around and reacting to all of this life. Come back, relax, respond, look at it, do what makes you feel good, do what makes you feel right, embrace your fellow human beings. That's what I've done with my Qigong practice. It's been a wonderful experience for me, and to go back now since the lockdown has come off and getting back into the community, I'm loving it. I'm actually loving it, and then creating amazing atmospheres in rooms, and I want to do that online as well. So if you want to, you can join the Bright Beings Academy. It's very cheap at the moment, this January deal I've got going on. So all you need to do is contact me or go to the Bright Beings Academy. If you just Google that, you'll find it, or you'll find links all over my websites or even on my YouTube channel. You can find it. So have a look at that. Qigong is, I personally think, the way forward, because it's the simplest way for you to connect your mind with your body and your breath. Most people give up after about a month. They go, oh yeah, this is good. I'm feeling better after class. But where's it taking me? It takes years and years of practice, and then it comes, and then you're a complete human being. You can enjoy this human experience, even though it's appalling out there. You can enjoy this human experience and make the changes you want to see in your life. So soul retrieval is actually getting your body back into the proper state that it should be. That is in the parasympathetic nervous state more than the sympathetic nervous state. And I'm finding the people that I meet are like this. They're in the sympathetic nervous state. Relax. Take a deep breath. Palms up in the air. Take a deep breath. Take some time out for yourself. Get into that parasympathetic nervous state, the relax, digest, heal, reproductive state that we should be in more frequently. And then these higher energies will come to you, and you'll experience this ninth wave, and you'll experience this moving into the golden age from the Kali Yuga, which is an incredible time to be alive on this planet. But if you reject anything, or if you accept anything that they're teaching us at this point as a society, then you're still attached to it. People say detach from it. You're still attached to it. You can watch it, you can see it, you can go along with it. It's like Jesus said, pay them with their own money. Pay them with their own money. What do you think he meant by that? He said, you can watch it, you can go along with it, you live alongside it. It doesn't mean that you have to be part of it. And I have many discussions about the goods and the bads of the education system, the goods and the bad of the healthcare system, and all this kind of stuff. Everybody's attached to so many different things, and they don't seem to realize it. They say they're living on a spiritual path, but they're attached to these different things, and it's like you're attached to you're attached to it. You can talk about it, you can have your opinion on it, and that should be flowing and moving all the time. Flowing and moving, ebbing and flowing. That's what the universe does. That's what's been created for us, which is an amazing experience of this ebb and flow, the pendulum of time that goes around and around. Life is cyclical. Time is cyclical. Experience is cyclical. It all keeps going around and around and around. So I want you to enjoy it. I sincerely do want you to enjoy it, because then when I meet you, maybe one day, you're going to come up to me and go, wow, there you are. And I'll go, there you are. And we'll have a great big hug and we'll say, this is a beautiful experience. And you'll say, yes, it is. Not this, did you see what the rough chance is? I know, I've been there. I've been angry. I've been really bitter. Don't want that anymore. So really focus on soul retrieval. Soul retrieval is you opening up your body to the energies that are coming down. That's all it is. It doesn't have to be any more woo-woo or sort of more sort of mystical than that. That's what it is. That's all it is you actually sorting your body out. And it's becoming simpler and simpler to understand, but more and more difficult, more and more complex, the more and more you're attached to this material world. So that's my point today. Hope you enjoyed the message. If you did, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think soul retrieval is, what you think trauma and stress and anxiety does to the body. I'll be very interested to know, and I do reply to all my comments. So please do give me a comment below, and I'll see you in the next video. And I always say, be well, keep shining, and big love to all of you. Keep shining, keep shining, keep shining, keep shining.